Okay, everyone, a very good morning. Today the number is very less. I don't know the reason for coming, not coming in a regular manner. I think you're preparing to come to school for attending the classes. Okay, anyway, see children, I request everybody to switch on your videos. Your videos are off. Yes, yes, come on, quick. Anusha, Ishal, Adityan, Anthony Babu, and yeah, Ahmed Afin. Ahmed Afin, like a Maveli, you are coming. If 5 classes, only 1 class you are coming. Its audio is not connected. Okay, children. So today, anyway, we have successfully completed the topic called active and passive voice. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the concept because you are very well thorough with it. Okay, I know that you are learning this concept right from 6th standard onwards. You know that how to change a sentence in active voice into passive voice. If the sentence is a declarative sentence, if it has a proper tense form, and you know how to change an imperative sentence using 2 different formulae from one active voice form to the passive voice form. And there are no strict rules, only 3 important points that you should remember when you change or transform a sentence from active voice to passive voice if the sentence is an interrogative. Okay, interrogative, remember when you end your passive voice sentence also, you need to use the same question mark in your interrogative passive voice also as it is a question. And these are the 3 points you should keep always in your mind. If your question is starting with do, does and did, the same do and does and did cannot be used in your passive voice sentence, whereas you can use only be forms in it. Okay, to begin your question in passive voice, please don't ever use do, does and did. As per the subject and the person, you can choose suitable be forms according to the tense form and all. Okay, and second point I said, if the question is starting with have, has and had, have forms, auxiliary verbs like modal auxiliary verbs like can, could, will, would, shall, should, all those forms, then use the same to begin your question in passive voice. Just think about the subject. If the subject is singular, use a singular verb. If the subject is plural, you can prefer a plural verb. Okay. And last one I said, WH question, except who and whom. If the question is starting with who, when you begin your passive voice sentence, you must choose and write by whom. You should begin your question with by whom. And if it is whom, then you have to change it, or you have to begin your passive voice sentence with who in your passive voice sentence. Okay, this is what you need to keep in your mind. Now, today a new topic for you, and this topic is also not new. You're familiar with this, but this one, or what I'm going to deal with you people today is a topic which we are normally using in our written English. Okay, we are not normally not using in our written English. This is a part of spoken English. Okay, we usually include these kind of constructions or these kind of grammatical formations only when we speak. We are not even, if you find, no, if it is a conversation which is printed there in a booklet, you can find these words written there. But normally this is a part of your spoken English. It is not a part of your written English. And the topic for you to learn is question tags. Okay, the next topic for you to learn is question tags. Let me start from the very beginning of the word tag. What do you mean by the word tag? What is the meaning of this word tag? Tag means what? You know, you have a tag with your identity card, right? When you get the ID card from the school office, you have a tag. So what is a tag, children? T-A-G, tag, which means tail. Okay, so with the statement, you can fix a question, and that question is said to be the tail of a statement. You are converting a statement into a tail or into a question with the support of this question tag. So let me introduce the topic for you. Question tags. It is a grammatical structure which turns a statement into a question. Which turns, this is important, please note it, a question tag is a grammatical structure, point 1. It is a grammatical structure which turns a statement into a question, point number 2. We are normally using a question tag for changing a statement into a question. Okay, statement into a question. Let me repeat the word question tag. Tag means tail of something. Okay, so this is a tail attached after a statement, or you can see the place of a question tag in a sentence is just at the end of your statement. Okay, and point number 3 or point number 2, whatever it is, if this is also related to the tag.
Slide one more time.
Yeah, why not? Please listen. We are talking about question tags. It is a grammatical structure which turns a statement into a question. With the help of a question tag, we can transform a statement into a question, or we can turn a statement into a question. Okay, next slide. They are mainly used in spoken English, not in written. Remember, as I have told you earlier, these constructions are used only with spoken English times, only when you converse with someone, only when you talk with someone, only when you want to write like a conversation between 2 people, 4 people, 5 people in a paper. Okay, it is a part of spoken English, not a part of written English. Okay, so now let us see how it is formed, how a question tag formed in a grammar or as a grammatical structure. Remember, children, question tags are formed with auxiliary or modal verb. You have already a statement with you. When you want to frame a question tag, you please make sure that you are identifying the auxiliary or modal auxiliary verb used in that particular statement. Okay, so please not, or please try to identify if the main verb is used. We can split the main verb into auxiliary verb. Okay, so find the auxiliary verb from your statement. If the auxiliary verb is present there is no need for splitting the main verb. If a modal auxiliary verb is present there in a statement, there is no need to split a main verb to get an auxiliary. If it is present there, you can choose the same auxiliary verb. Otherwise, split the main verb to get do, does, and did out of that or from that. Okay, so question tags are formed with the auxiliary or modal verb from the statement. As I have told you, if the auxiliary verbs are present in a statement, you remove that auxiliary verb from the statement and think about the subject. Remember, when you add a subject or when you place a subject with an auxiliary verb as a part of question tag, you cannot use nouns there. You must use only the pronoun form of such nouns. Okay, if it is Johin is sleeping, if the statement is Johin is sleeping, okay, there actually she is listening to my class. I can see she is very eagerly listening to my class, but still this is just an example. Okay, Johin is sleeping. This is a statement which is starting with a capital letter, ending with a full stop. When I want to fix a tag for this to get a confirmation, to get an answer, to get a confirmation from someone, I should have to prefer the auxiliary verb present in that statement. Here, Johin is sleeping. In that particular statement, I have an auxiliary verb is. Okay, but my sentence is starting with what, children? My sentence is starting with the noun Johin, right? So I cannot use Johin in my question tag. I must replace Johin with she. Okay, the appropriate subject pronoun I should prefer and I should choose it, and I have to place it along with my question tag with my auxiliary verb. And one more thing is there, I'll tell you. After sharing this, I'll tell you, children. Look at here. Question tags, we are going to talk about it in detail. Please note it. A yes or no question sometimes consists of a statement followed by a tag. So what is a question tag, children? It can be an yes or no question. Okay, because we will be getting an answer in the form of, is Johin sleeping? Isn't she? Okay, so you get, yes ma'am, she's sleeping. No ma'am, she's not. Right? I get an answer in the form of yes or no. So it is a question that is normally used as a form of a yes or no question, and that is just like a tag. It is just fixed like a tail after a statement in a sentence. Okay, my second point, question tags are not really questions, children. I have told you question tags are not really questions. This is a part of a statement. It's a tail of a statement to get confirmation of something, to invite, to focus on something, or to speak about, or to invite the other person's comment, or if we are waiting to get a comment from the other person or the listener, we place a small tag, a small question tag after a sentence. So we cannot say it has a question. This is not a question. This is a part of a statement. A tag attached at the end or bottom of a statement. Clear? Clear? So we cannot call it as a question. Never call a question tag a question, because this is a part or a tail attached at the end of a statement. The real meaning for this question tag, it is not really a question, but are used usually to invite the other person to confirm. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Or make a comment on something. For that only we are using a question tag after a statement. They are also called corroborative questions. They are also called corroborative questions, which means we are waiting to get a confirmation from someone, because they corroborate the statement they follow. They confirm or give a support to a statement. That is why it is used to get some confirmation from someone regarding the sentence we raised. That is why it is called corroborative question, because here we are waiting to get the confirmation or the support, to get the support which we raised by fixing a statement in our conversation. Now we have a lot of points to remember when we fix a question tag. The first point I have already shared, because at first, before fixing a question tag, we should think about one thing, because we need to get an auxiliary verb. We cannot use the main verb as it is in a question tag. We have to, if the auxiliary verbs are present in your statement, you need to use the same auxiliary verb. If the auxiliary verbs are absent there, then you can split the main verb in the form of do plus base form, did plus base form, does plus base form. So do, does, did can be removed from your main verb in order to frame your question tag. At the same time, we cannot use the subject, the noun. We cannot use the noun there. Instead of a noun in a question tag, we have to prefer only a pronoun. If your sentence is starting with Shane John, you have to use a subject pronoun he. Okay, if the sentence is starting with Carolyn Matthew, you must begin your, or sorry, you must use after the auxiliary verb, you must use the subject in the form of a pronoun. You are not allowed to use any nouns in your question tag. Question tags are very small, okay, and all these tag questions are ending with a question mark also. Remember, when you attach these tag questions, you must think about one thing, because you are using only auxiliary verb and pronoun in order to set your question tag questions. Okay, now let us think about the points. Point number one. If your statement is a positive statement, you know the negative words or the words of negations used in English grammar. Can you contribute a few now? What are the negative or the words of negations used in a statement to make a statement negative? Usually, we are using NOT not. Apart from NOT not, any other words?
Never.
Never.
Neither.
Nor.
Nor. Neither nor. Okay. No.
No.
Nothing. Okay. No one. None. Seldom. Hardly. Rarely. Scarcely. Little, few, all these words if you find in your sentence, you can call it as a negative sentence, okay? So if your statement is a positive sentence, when you fix a tag, you fix a negative tag with it. Remember, if the statement is a positive statement, fix a negative tag. How to make a tag negative, children? You can use the short form of not, that is ing after the auxiliary verb. Okay, aren't. Okay, didn't.
Asking to let her in.
Yes, sir?
Ishal is asking to let her in.
Ishal. Okay. See, your voice, I cannot hear it clearly. So if you're giving me something, you please speak louder. Okay, so I request everybody to switch on your video. You are coming anyway right from December onwards. A few days, it's counted. Then why are you hiding yourself? All of you switch on your videos. December 15th onwards, you are not allowed to hide yourself, right? All videos are here present. Then why are you switching off now?
Ma'am, I sent it December 1st.
So remember, let me share. So if your statement is a positive question or a positive statement with a positive sentence, use a negative tag. Point number 1. I request everybody to note this. With a positive statement, use a negative tag. See, how is it possible? See, the first statement is, we are on the same side. Okay, we are on the same side. You are lucky because this is already starting with an auxiliary verb, and also pronoun and an auxiliary verb are already present here. So this sentence, I haven't used any words of negations used in English grammar. So this is an example for a positive statement. Okay, when you want to fix a tag, you write the entire sentence down, children. Okay, just copy the entire sentence. We are on the same side. Copy the same down. This full stop must be changed into a comma. Okay, remember, and begin your tag with a small letter. If the statement is a positive statement, make your statement negative by adding in, the short form in, the not. You have to use in itself. Aren't we? I have started my question tag with a small letter because I have changed the full stop of my sentence into a comma. Okay, so you are copying the entire sentence down, change the punctuation mark full stop into a comma, begin your question tag. Question tag are questions. It's a kind of a question, or it is used as a question. So we should begin with an auxiliary verb first. Here, are is the auxiliary verb in the first sentence, and we is the subject of your second sentence. For a positive statement, we need to fix a negative tag. So aren't we, put a question mark at the end. So aren't we is the question tag we fixed after a statement. Because of this entire sentence, we are calling it as not a question. These are a tag or a tail at the end of a statement to get a confirmation, to get a particular answer, or we are raising someone's comment. Okay, so with a positive sentence, use a negative tag. Here, look at the second sentence. I have started my sentence with Ashok. The name Ashok, I have used the noun Ashok. I cannot use Ashok in my tag, right? Instead of Ashok, I have used the pronoun he. Ashok should pass the exam. Here, the auxiliary verb is already present. Should. Ashok is a noun. I should change this noun into a pronoun. First step, I should copy the entire sentence. I should copy the same sentence down. I must change my full stop into a comma. This is important. This is one of the important things. So we must change a full stop of our statement into a comma and begin our question tag with a small letter, because after a comma, we normally begin a sentence or whatever it is, or a word with a small letter. So it is shouldn't. Positive sentence, negative tag. Shouldn't he? Put a question mark, you will get a negative tag. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
This point is clear or not? Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Second one. My second point, children. With a negative sentence, use a positive question tag. If your sentence is a negative sentence, we have a pronoun here in the form of a subject. We have had the auxiliary verb. With had, I have used the word of negation called the short form of not. So this is a negative sentence, okay? And the statement is ending with a full stop also. So I should copy the same sentence down. We hadn't much time. Full stop must be changed into a comma. I should prefer had the auxiliary verb, and I can remove int from my sentence. When I fix a tag here, I can use the same pronoun as my subject. So had we, end your question tag with the question mark. All these things are very important, children. You never ever forget this. Remove full stop and place a comma between the statement and the question. And end your question tag with a question mark. If the statement is a negative statement, use a positive tag. If the statement is a positive sentence, then use a negative tag. You are not Arun. You are not not Arun. You is the subject here, are is the auxiliary verb here, and I have got a word of negation not from my sentence. So the sentence is a negative sentence and it is ending with a full stop. I should copy the same sentence down. I must change my full stop into a comma, and as my sentence is a negative sentence, I should use auxiliary verb plus subject and a question mark, because with a negative sentence I must have a positive tag. So these are the major 2 points. You keep those points in your mind. With a positive sentence, use a negative tag. With a negative sentence, use a positive tag. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, please note this. A negative statement does not necessarily mean one with a negative verb. You please note it. A negative statement, we said a few minutes before, the word of negations are used in English grammar are not. Okay, and normally if you get a sentence, if you get a positive sentence, when you want to change that positive sentence into a negative sentence, obviously you are always thinking about not, not or ind, the short form. Apart from this not or ind, we have some other words to change. It is not used in the, always not used in the form of a negative verb. Okay, other than that, we are using some other expressions also. As you said, nothing, none, no one, all these are examples for nobody. All these are examples for negative words. Okay, so let me share this to you. I request everybody to copy this also. So a negative statement does not necessarily mean one with a negative verb. Negative verb means did not, had not. Okay, other than this, it may have positive verb with a negative subject. So none of the food was wasted. So here none of the food. Here none of the food is actually a part of a subject, and here was is used like a positive verb. It is not used like a negative word. Wasn't is, I haven't used wasn't here. So none, the presence of none shows that it is a part of the subject also. So it shows that the sentence is a negative sentence. So I should fix a positive tag with it. So I have to prefer again auxiliary verb plus none of the food. We are talking about food, inanimate thing. So it is it, neutral. So none of the food was wasted. The question tag that I should fix is was it. Second one, we saw no one. Here I have started my sentence with we, the pronoun. I got the pronoun from here. So is a positive word and no one is a negative word in the position of an object here. So this is also, I have seen no one used in my sentence. So this is actually an example for a negative sentence. So I have to use only positive. Since the subject, since the verb is so, I need to get an auxiliary verb from so. So here main verb must be splitted into do form plus base form. Okay, so becomes did plus see, isn't it? So I got the auxiliary verb did from here, from by splitting the verb, and I have to start a positive tag, did we. So what is a complement, children? What do you mean by a complement in English grammar? What is a complement? You tell me what is used in the form of a complement in English grammar.
Let's see how good or bad it is.
Complements. According to English grammar, what can you call it as a complement?
Ma'am, a verb.
Hesa?
A verb.
Complement. It is not a verb. What do you mean by complement in English grammar? I need an explanation now, right now. During our vacation classes, I have given you a definition on the concept called complement. If you have those notes with you, please undust it and tell me. Complement.
Ma'am, splitting a verb.
Ma'am.
English grammar. As you know, I am facing a lot of troubles now for hearing.
Ma'am, expression that completes the meaning of a predicate.
Explanation which is used to complete the sentence in absence of objects, right? I saw a snake. I is a subject, so is a verb. Snake is actually a object of a sentence, but sometimes you can see only complements are used in our sentence. Okay, we are not using an appropriate object in place of an appropriate object. We are, in order to complete the meaning of our sentence, we are using a complement, isn't it? We are attaching a complement, isn't it? So sometimes a positive verb may be used in your sentence, but you can find a negative word is used in the position of a complement. Look at here, a small sum like that is nothing. A small sum like that is nothing. So here the word nothing is used in the position of a complement, which gives a complete explanation or a complete idea, or which gives a complete meaning to the sentence, and it is not used in the form of an object here. Clear? So you please just think about, just revise the lessons we learned during the vacation class. I have explained the complements there. I have given a few examples for you. Just turn the leaves of those days, the pages of those days. Okay, so nothing is used in the sentence. So the sentence or the statement is actually a negative statement, because you can see the word nothing is used. So we need to use a positive tag. Okay, so here see, a small sum like that is, we got the auxiliary verb is. Okay, so a small sum like that, instead of a small sum like that, we have to prefer the pronoun it. It represents a small sum like that. Clear? Again, money goes nowhere these days. Look at here, children, money goes nowhere these days. So here, nowhere is used in the form of an adverb of place. Okay, money goes nowhere these days. So here also it is written nowhere, which turns a statement a negative statement. So I have to prefer, goes becomes does. I have to split does plus go, right? So I got does here. So instead of money, I have to use an appropriate pronoun it here. So I have to fix a negative tag with a positive statement and a positive tag with a negative statement. Negative statement means it does not necessarily mean one with a negative word. It can be a negative word which is actually used in the position of a subject, or it can be used in the position of an object. It can be a complement in the sentence. It can be even a negative adverb in a sentence. Okay, so it is just based on this. We can fix a tag. Consider all these points. Now, regarding the personal pronouns, you are familiar with all the personal pronouns, isn't it? What are the personal pronouns, children? You learn many personal pronouns under English grammar. What are the personal pronouns?
Myself.
I don't want the examples. You tell me the personal pronouns. How many persons?
Three persons.
Only 3 persons. What are they?
First person, second person, third person.
First person, second person, third person. Only these pronouns are used in our sentences, especially subject pronouns. Okay, we are not using any self pronouns or any reflexive pronouns, any other demonstrative pronouns or whatever it is. We are giving preference only to the personal pronouns. If your sentence, if you want to fix a question tag, let me share the screen once again. If a personal pronoun is the subject of the statement, then the same pronoun is to be used as a subject of your tag. Okay? Okay, so here you have nothing to lose, right? So you have nothing. Is it a positive sentence or a negative sentence?
Negative.
It is a negative sentence because you can see nothing, the word is used, right? So we need to fix a positive tag. Here you, the personal pronoun, is used as subject of your sentence and have the auxiliary verb. Amrita Biju, are you listening to the class or you're talking to someone else? Amrita Biju,
Yes, ma'am.
are you talking here or are you talking to someone else in your house?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am means? Are you listening to the class? So tell me the last point discussed here.
If the sentence, if the statement is starting with the subject, a personal, if a personal pronoun is used, then the same thing can be used in the tag.
What do you mean by that?
If the sentence is
What do you mean by that, Amrita? So if you're there in a classroom, be in a classroom. Okay? So if a personal pronoun is used for beginning a sentence, you can use the same personal pronoun. Okay, the sentence is a negative sentence. We have added nothing, the word here, in order to make our positive sentence negative. So here we need to fix a positive tag. You is the personal pronoun. You can use the same you as a personal pronoun as a part of your subject or as a part of your question tag. Okay, have the auxiliary verb is used. See, it is the word is one cannot be. Too careful. Okay, one cannot be not. It's one cannot be too careful. So we have here used one itself. Why it is one? Why we used one here instead of a personal pronoun? One cannot be too careful. Can one?
Because one is the personal pronoun in the sentence.
So I said no, we can use only a pronoun here. We cannot use any kind of words other than this. Then why I used one here?
One is used as a pronoun.
It is that there any personal pronoun in the name of one?
One is general.
It is used, it is very rarely, very rarely we use all these techniques. Okay, so let us have, I have a invigilation duty now. So I'm moving, I'm stopping, and we'll discuss about this in the next class. Okay, thank you for coming here, children. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.